So it's April 8th, Friday, April 8th, and it's snowing. Yay! Oh well. It's still spring, so you gotta give it a little slack. Okay, I'm gonna try and put the frame on the engine. Well, not try, I'm actually gonna do it. And then, we'll see how it goes, I guess. So I was looking back at a couple old videos because I got some personal messages about some videos I did. I'm actually surprised that a large number of my videos have over 1,000 views, so not many comments, but that's okay. I mean, I like the comments, but it is what it is, right? So I think if I get this focused in right, ignore the mess in the garage. I've actually got 3 projects going on right now, and I'm going to push to get this through. As you can see on the frame, I put some painter's tape on there just to kind of protect the frame as I put it on. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So, okay, let's try this again, shall we? Okay, still recording. Gotta watch that, I got this in wrong. So, right away I gotta take it out. There. Tilt it this way. Makes life a lot easier. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna get some brackets and stuff together and I'll be right back. Okay. So, there's these, let me see if I can get this in. So these triangle brackets, they're going to go here. So, I have to put them on in order for the motor to stay. Oh, probably should do that first. So, there's a flat washer that goes on here, so I'm going to put that on. And then there's a nut and a lock washer. So they go like this. They are designed, you can only put them on one way. So that's good. Try to. Oh, that's a good question. Do they go on the inside of the frame or the outside of the frame? I'm going to have to look that up because I'm not quite sure. I don't remember now for some reason. Okay, so I put the other triangular bracket on there, and I've just got them hand tight for right now. That's all that's necessary. And then I've got the a big bolt, the bolt that goes through the back half of the motor ready. It's just sitting on there. As soon as I get the motor lined up right, it'll drop in. At least that's the hope. So I need something under this peg for the shock because it's getting all scratched up. No, I gotta reset it up because it's getting all kind of out of whack. So, nope, back's gonna come down lower now. Okay, I'm gonna keep running back and forth to the camera because this particular camera does not show when it's recording or not. So when it has a habit of stopping recording for apparently no reason. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I'll say that is a bit of a struggle, to be honest, but it's not that bad. You saw it took just a few seconds, so that was not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, so now I'm putting these bolts in the triangular brackets in front. These are what mount the triangular brackets to the motor. So not a big deal. Just hand tight, again, hand tight for now. I mean, you could tighten them up if you want to. There's no reason you can't. I just don't feel like stopping to get each tool each time. Okay. Alright, I'm going to stop for a second and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I had to stop to go get my daughter from school and such. So now it's going to be flipping this up and putting them on those 2x over there, one on each of these rails, because there's a little bit of the motor hanging down below those rails. So you don't want the motor sitting right on the ground if you can help it, right? I did, in case you didn't notice, I did take off the oil filter because it's just easier to get the frame on without it off. So at this point, I'm going to wait until until I get the tires on and everything before I go putting the oil filter back on. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so here we go. Let me okay. So, hang on, it's kind of warm in here. Turn the heat up. Whew. It's got to be 28 outside and 73, 74 in here, something like that. Okay, so I've got this rod. Okay, so this camera's not my friend now at all, but it's what I got because the sunglass one with the built-in camera that I bought before I went on vacation, that's packed away still because I took it with me, so I'll have to get it another time. Anyway, so all I did was tilt it up, and that's all there was to it. Now it's sitting on the 2 wood blocks that I had down there. The motor is like just touching the carpeting. I'm fine with that. So the next thing is to start bolting the motor on. I have the rod going through the back holding it up. And so I have the rod going through the back of the motor holding that up, and I have the one down there. There's 2 supports on the bottom. I have to find the bolts for it. Right now I can't find them. But those triangle brackets are holding the motor in, and that one long bolt in the back is holding the motor up. And really that's all we need. Now, I'm gonna just tighten up these triangular bolts and that back one, and then I'm gonna change the camera around, and we're gonna start putting the swing arm on. But there's a catch, and I'll show you what that is in a minute. Okay, so you want to put the swing arm on next, right? And there it is. That way you can put the tire on. But wait, there's a trap here for new players. So if you're new to the game, there's this brake shaft here. If you've taken this out, you need to put it back before you put your swing arm on. It goes right in there, because once you get your swing arm on, you'll never get this on. And then I put this on as well. It goes here. Right? And then this part goes to your brake arm on your rear wheel. So I'll put this on. There's a pin that goes through there with a Carter key. And then I'll tape it up to one of the bars here just to get it out of the way. And then that way it's on and I don't have to fight with it later. And then I can put the swing arm on and still get to everything. I'm still waiting. I have to find the bolt for that. I don't know what happened to it, but that's got to go in. The next thing I got to do is get the bracket here, put that on. So, well, things like that. We're making progress, so I'll bring you back, I guess, when I do the swing arm. Yeah, I think that'll be the next thing. Okay, so the swing arm's finally in. I actually had to take it out again because the Zerk fitting is pointing towards the engine. It's not the right fitting. It fits, but the angle's wrong. It should come off of the swing arm as a little stub. Instead, it jets out and goes to the right. Anyway, so I had to take it all apart again and put it all back together. Also, these don't fit quite right, so I had to find washers to put spacers in here because these are thinner than the stock ones. So I had to add a washer here, and I had to add a washer in here on both sides, and I had to find washers that would fit. A nightmare. And then I did get the triple tree on. It's pretty easy. You know, it goes in the same way it came out, so I didn't bother filming it. They're just, you know, it was non-eventful, really. The only issue is if you have ball bearings instead of the roller bearings like I have on here, the tapered bearings. If you have actual ball bearings, just keep track of them. Make sure they don't roll off anywhere and get lost. But if you can upgrade to the tapered bearings by All Balls, yeah, I think it's All Balls. They're great. So yeah, do that if you can. It's definitely worth it. But on that note, it's late. It's been a long day, and I've had enough. So, calling it quit for Friday night. My goal was to have this a rolling chassis by Sunday, and I think I'll get there. Even with everything I got to do this weekend, I'm actually a lot further along tonight than I thought I'd be. So, anyway, till tomorrow. So, Saturday, and, you know, wait a day, things will change. Woke up to 2 inches of snow on the ground, and that's pretty much all gone now. It's only in the 40s, it's not supposed to get much warmer, but it's something. So I haven't done much. I just dry fitted the forks real quick, just to make sure everything was in alignment there. I have the center stand on. There's a tube that holds it on to the frame, but that's all I've done. I just put it in there and put the tube on. At some point I'm going to have to lift the back end, and I want that to swing out and sit on the center stand, not on the jack stands and the floor jack that I have. I just got the tire set in here. I don't even have the... I don't even have the adjusters on. They go right there because I have to put them in carefully and get them in the right spot and then tighten it down real quick, or the edges of this will just chew that paint up like nobody's business. So right now, I'm taking a little break because doing a little polishing, trying to get my fork tubes looking better. So it's getting there. Yeah, you know, probably time for a new wheel. I've got a couple of spares, so I'll probably pull one out here in a minute. But so yeah, it's getting there. It's better than it was, which, you know, is not great. So we'll see how much I get done today, because I'm going to do that and that one, and then probably, if I get them done today, put everything on and get the front tire mounted. I won't put the fender on, I'll do that later, but right now I just want to get the front tire on so I can get this thing on the center stand and take the jacks away. Then I can get started on the wiring, because that will be the next thing. But I got to tighten the swing arm down yet. Again, the swing arm and all the motor mounts are all just snug. I'm going to come back and tighten those up once it's on the ground. But in the meantime, it'll get me moving forward anyway. So, okay, so enough chit chat, more work. Okay, so we're making some progress. Hello. Hello. So it's not chrome, you know, but it's not supposed to be, right? So it's getting there. So after I hit it with the wheel, I throw some of this stuff on it. You know, use whatever you want, but when you're polishing aluminum like this, especially this old aluminum, you're going to want something on there to clean off the abrasives you use on the wheel. And it's doing okay. You know, I'm not looking, this isn't a show bike, so just looking to clean it up is all. A couple spots here I got to deal with, but otherwise, it's cleaning up pretty nicely. Alright, crack-a-lackin'. Okay, so finished cleaning these up and getting them ready. And one thing, these are the headlight brackets that come with the bike stock, right? Well, a lot of people who clean these up forget these washers. They go in here, those rubber washers go in here, right? So you want to make sure you have that. If not, these are just regular rubber washers. They're not real thick. You could probably pick one up at the local hardware store if you needed one. These, on the other hand, are very specific. In most cases, these are either missing or broke, or both. In my case, one was missing, one was broke. But I picked these up years ago for, I don't know, $5 or something. So they just go in here. And what it does, like this, it just takes the play out of the forks. So when the forks go through here, they sit inside this rubber washer. So I, you know, they just keep the forks from flopping around in here, because the forks sit right on this rubber end grommet, and there's one at each end, and each one's different. Just like this one's different from this one. So you just make sure you get the both if you get them, because they're cheap enough. And they're the finished forks. I'd show you putting them on, but frankly, you know, you took them out, so it's pretty easy to get them back in. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. And so I'll probably do that next, and then move on to whatever is next on the agenda. And just watching a little Adventures with Bash while I do the work, if it'll focus. He just put up an hour-long video, so I have to watch it. So yeah, so we'll do that and then move on. Okay, till the next one. Okay, so I pretty much have a rolling chassis at this point, which is good. So made more progress today than I thought I would. So tires just loosely on there. Everything else, all the suspension, everything is just snugged up by hand. So tomorrow I'll pop it off the center stand, bounce it up a few times, just to kind of get things to settle in. Then I'll tighten everything up according to the manual, which I have behind me here. And then I guess I'll do the wiring next. That would probably be the best thing to do, because that's a bear and that's going to take a long time. But yeah, I'm happy with the way it looks. The wider rim in the back gives it a more aggressive look, I think. And I'm fighting myself. I want to leave that front fender off, but I want a front fender, so I might wait for Godfrey to show up and see if he can chop it for me so I can keep the fender but still have this sort of fenderless look. I kind of like that. But we'll see. The shocks are definitely longer because on the center stand the tire just is like maybe half an inch off the floor. Before, it was a good 2 inches off the floor, so it's definitely going to have a stand up higher in the back, which is going to be good for riders and whatnot. So anyway, we're fixing to head out for the night, so looks like I'm done until tomorrow. I'll have a few hours tomorrow night after breakfast with some friends we're having, and probably have lunch with them too. And if I don't drink too much, I'll have at it tomorrow night. Maybe start on the wiring, or we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll take a while just to get everything buttoned up. So, and before anybody asks, yes, I did put transmission fluid in the forks, so we're good. And yes, the manual says use ATF transmission fluid, 6.5 ounces per fork. So that's what's in there, and no leaks. So yay! So seals look to be working good. So I won't know until first couple of rides when really put them under some stress. So anyway, that's it for Saturday. Until tomorrow. Okay, so Sunday, it's raining, about 38. It was a little snow and ice this morning. But it's in the afternoon, finally back from friends, having breakfast and lunch with friends. Today's going to be the wiring harness and the filter. So on these, you have a little filter which goes on here. Then that goes through here, through that hole right there. And then the spring goes on, and then the filter goes on, and then you've got a ring that goes on there. Now, a lot of people forget about the O-ring on here, so make sure you get a new one of those, because the old one gets chewed up pretty easy. So, and then of course the new filter. And the old filter was pretty nasty, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that oil, change it a little more often, I think. But anyway, back in a little while with more. Okay, so just a thought. These Amigo oil filters, the O-rings are horrible. It won't stay on. It's warped. When I got these off of, these were genuine Honda replacements, and they sat in there real nice. It wasn't a problem. These are horrible. This ring has already separated from the oil filter. I'll use it because it's all I got, but I won't buy Amigo brand anymore. Waste of money. It did come with an extra one, so I assume this fits other models, not just mine, but not just the 75. But that's a waste. I don't need it. It did come with the other two, which are in here now. And don't forget to oil those up, and be careful when you're threading it back on, because this part here will strip if you just look at it wrong. So you just got to be very careful when you're putting it back on the bike. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that. I think that's going to be it for tonight, for today. I did get the oil filter on. Pain in the butt. The oil O-ring kept squeezing out, and I think I got it. I won't know until I get some oil in it, but that Amigo brand, I'm not going to buy that anymore. That's just crap. In fact, I don't like any of their products. I bought a ignition switch from them not too long ago, and it fell apart. I mean, literally, I went to twist the key, and it just came apart. So unfortunately, they're one of the few people that still make ignition switches for this, but was able to find an old new stock, so I got lucky. So the engine's bolted down. The suspension is about as bolted down as I'm going to get it right now. So the rest of the night's just going to be doing what I can with the wiring loom. And it's not a problem putting it on so much as it is just making sure I've got everything routed correctly and doing it so that there's that bunch there winds up here, and that bunch there winds up with the headlight, and that bunch there goes in there. It's not a big deal, but it'll probably take a while. Just about then it'll be dinner time, and then I think I'll call it a night. That's enough video anyway for one day, and quite frankly, I've got some other things I got to do, and then I'll get back to this, but just not right now. So anyway, so that's where she's going to be. So pretty much this, only with a wiring loom on it, and that's good for one weekend, I think. And all throughout the week, I'm going to be working on it here and there because I've got nothing big going on. So I'm hoping I can actually start it up by next Sunday. So that'd be cool. We'll see. We'll see. I know everybody's probably getting tired of the updates, but it's all I can do when it's cold and wet out anyway. So it's not like I'd have any videos up otherwise. So, all right. Talk to you later.